dish that got me eliminated from MasterChef. I actually did then end up going back cooking the dish again. We did win me a challenge, but still, I remember the day that I cooked this. It's a gajuga, which is basically a poached fish in a tamarind-based herby broth, and you serve it on top of noodles with aromatic garlic oil on top, and my favourite things in the world, these little what are they called? The coriander sauces coriander. I remember when I was like really screwing this up, I could feel all this pressure from generations and generations of my ancestors kind of like looking down on me and going, I know today, which basically means in English, you effed it up. You've effed it up. Alright, so to begin, I'm going to put all of this. I'm warming the oil up. I don't want to burn my garlic. What I'm going to do is slice this really, really thinly. I'm going to let my cameraman move across from me. We're going to slice this real thin. These are going to end up being garlic chips. So this both flavors the oil and also gives you a really lovely crunchy texture to garnish the dish with at the end. Now, if I'm doing this at home, I would cheat and I wouldn't actually make it into chips. I would just give it a nice little chop. Don't you reckon it's funny that like you see a recipe and it's like, it's a 20-minute recipe, but it's like, yeah, but it also took me 20 more minutes to chop it. So this is a 20-minute recipe. All right, into my oil goes some shallots. These are really chopped up gorgeously. I didn't do this. Lemongrass in there, some ginger goes in. And I'm also making my camera run around me with this torch. Cardio for the day. Alright, so we're just going to let that get really gorgeous and aromatic. As soon as you can start to smell the ginger and the lemongrass, you can add the other ingredients in, which are my chili, my tamarind, my stock, so fish stock and chicken stock. Really important to use both. It's a weird one because the chicken stock I find super sweet, and I think that's what makes this soup really lovely, so don't skip out on that. Obviously, if you are pesto, feel free to use a chicken flavoured stock, that works as well, individually placed. Alright, aromatics looking great. In goes a little bit of tamarind. What happened? Huh? Some tamarind goes in, a little bit of fish sauce, or a lot of fish sauce. Okay, that's looking like it's almost there.
What oil was that, Aaron?
The oil that I used in the pan before I put all of this in was my garlic infused oil. That was fish sauce that just went in. Now I've got fish stock. Sorry, there's two stocks up here, so I'm like, which one is which? Chicken stock. So this will be the base for your broth, but it will also be what you use to poach your fish as well. You get that flavour infused in the fish, which is really gorgeous. Into that, we're going to put some of these beautifully chopped tomatoes. Garlic needs to come out, garlic needs to come out, garlic needs to come out. That's right, garlic is out. We're good, we're good, we're good, we're good. Stress. Garlic is out, we're happy. Tomatoes go in. Then what am I going to do for 15 minutes probably? Tomatoes go in. So this adds a little bit of sweetness, a little bit of acidity, a little bit of brightness. Same thing with our pineapple. Do I have the... No, with this. I will save some of this because what I like is to have a tiny bit of fresh pineapple at the end as a garnish as well. So you get like little pieces of really gorgeous cooked pineapple, and then every couple of bites you get this really lovely fresh pineapple that just kind of freshens everything. It's like having a little piece of lime, like a little squeeze of lime and a little lime there. Absolutely. Okay, so we're going to leave that to come to the boil. We're done here, 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 we're done here.
Can you talk about, cooks will twaddle on about, seasoning to taste. It's a thing, and you go, well, what, I'm still not quite sure what that means. Or in dishes like this, you'll talk about the balance of it.
Yeah.
And it's discuss.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is, as soon as I put this dill in, I'm going to let that infuse for about 5 or so minutes, and then I'm going to taste it. What you want to get is a really sharp sour as your first flavor profile. So the balance of this dish goes sour first, then you get that umami from like the fish and the chicken broth and also the fish sauce. That comes second, so that savory aspect comes in second. Third, on the bottom, you get a tiny bit of sweetness, and it ends with just a touch of salt. So if you're getting salt as soon as you taste it, you've gone too far. So then you need to up the other flavors. So okay, that's boiling. That's good. Let me taste. We're good. We're good to go. So I'm going to turn him down. Now look, the longer that you okay, so we have a little bit of rice noodles here. I need a plate. I need to use my plate. So we've got some rice noodles that I just quickly blanched, just with some boiling water, soaked, with some hot water, not even boiling water.
It's alright if there's like little pieces of the broth on it. At home, we would eat this over a hot pot, so a stove in the middle of our kitchen bench, or our table, like our dining table, and we'll just poach the fish and eat it as we go. We'll put new noodles in. Oh, like, it's gorgeous.
Just tasting that, yeah?
Huh?
How are you tasting that?
Well, what I usually do is I see how firm it is. Usually at home, I would just kind of like push it with my fingers, but here, I don't want to use my fingers because someone might eat this, I don't know who. This garlic oil that just sits and it glimmers on top of the broth and it infuses into the fish. That is my ganjuga. It got me eliminated first time on MasterChef, won me a challenge on the second time I did MasterChef. One of my favorite dish, reminds me of home. Didn't even talk about the fact that I've been eating this because I've just gone through a breakup and this makes me happy, but there it is, enjoy.